I wanted to show you guys some of my watercolor creations that are from photos from that I've taken either out the back window, or a lot of these were taken with my wildlife cameras that I position on the different bird feeders. But I've just started watercolor painting just after Christmas, or right before Christmas. I did kind of a slapdash painting of my dad's boat when I first got my paintings, but I've been painting ever since, trying to paint almost every night. I've started doing friends' pets, or I do wildlife or flowers. But anyway, I bought this cool field book because I thought it'd be really cool to have a book where I paint the different animals that come into my yard, because I get so many cool photos, especially from the wildlife camera, which is so fun because you don't know what you got until you download the photos, and then you can get some really great up close shots of the different birds and the squirrels. So let me just show you what I've got so far in my book. So here is a downy woodpecker. And I use, at first I was using Arteza paints, and then I have Micron pens, but then I got a different set of paints called GenCraft that I've been using. But these first few paints will be the Arteza, first few paintings will be Arteza, and then the rest are the GenCraft. But here's my downy woodpecker. And actually I cheated because that was a picture I found online. I did not take that picture. But all these other ones are photos I took. This is a tiger swallowtail on my butterfly bush. This is a Stellar's jay that was actually taken by the wildlife camera on my picnic table. And here's a northern flicker at the suet feeder. And what's really funny is I was a little high the night I did this, and the next day I noticed I had impossible lines on this cage, so I had to go in here with white gouache and fix them because the lines were like, it was like an Escher painting. I'm like, oh, what did I do? But yeah, I fixed it. I kind of covered one little, see those little slightly gray spots because there was a weird line there that didn't belong. But I really love the flicker, and I want to do another one of them soon because they are just so fun. All there, it's like somebody it's like little kids that dress themselves. They've got like stripes and spots, and then those awesome bright orange tail feathers. But I think this is one of my favorite paintings that I've done so far. This is a spotted towhee, and that was a picture I took out of my back window when it came here. Oops. This is one of my favorite photos that the wildlife camera has ever captured. This was a cute little squirrel that walked right up to the camera, and it took a photo of him holding a sunflower seed in his little paw, and I just thought this was the cutest thing. He was like, who's there? This is a Bantle pigeon, and I took this photo from my back window. And around this time too, this is where I got, this is actually a white gel pen that I bought that I go over and add some white afterwards, because with watercolor you have to preserve the white on the page, or you'd have to use a white gouache or a white pen, because watercolors are transparent, so you can't put white watercolor on top of colors. I think I should have added a bit more because they have a very pinkish hue in here, and I didn't quite get it. But again, this was back in March, so I'd only been painting for about 3 months at that time. This is a beautiful fuchsia blossom, a photo I took of one of my plants last year. I just love fuchsias. They look like little party dresses or little ballerinas. This is a photo I took out of my back window of a cute, very chubby squirrel, and he was just holding his peanut, or her peanut. Just looks so happy, and it had the fuzziest, fluffiest, I mean, this tail really was this big. It was just huge and fluffy behind her, and so yeah, I think it was a little girl because she looked very showy. She reminded me of the girl skunk from Bambi. So cute. She might have even been pregnant because she was very round. So cute. And then this is the last one I did. And this background kind of, I don't know, I kind of messed up the background. I kept going with it, but I do like how the bird ended up looking very 3D. This was a very rare, I've only seen it here a couple times. It's called an evening grosbeak, and it was on top of my pea trellis a couple years ago. And so these are the little tendrils of the peas growing up and around it. So I really don't like this background very much, but I like how the rest of it turned out. I should have just done some kind of light color, but I'm new to this, and so I experiment with the backgrounds, and yeah, it's kind of a mess. But I did start, when I first started, I was using a tracing thing for the first couple of things I did of my pets, but then realized I'm like, wow, I actually can't draw. So everything that you see here was all sketched by me and then painted in. So if you guys are doing crafts during this whole virus thing, let me know what you guys have been up to.